Things are continuing to go wrong for the New Day, so we'll see what's going on with them. We'll also check out what's new with Kevin Owens, the Raw Netflix premiere, and more. Starting things off with the New Day and their continuous path into the heel personas. The New Day's transition has been great so far, because it's been a slow burning buildup of all these different things going against them for no good reason, at least in their eyes. They just feel like they've done no wrong, and the whole world is just changing on them out of nowhere. This all really picked up with Kofi and Xavier's explosive way of kicking Big E out of the group and verbally trashing him the way they did, and claiming that Big E is the bad guy here and the one that switched up on them. And then follow that up the following week, and now the fans were all against the New Day and booing them. The fans had every right to boo the New Day because of what they did to Big E. But from Kofi and Xavier's perspectives, they see the situation as the fans switching up on them for no good reason at all. So now we get to week 3, and we see this similar theme continue for the New Day. First it was Big E, then the fans, and now it's the entire locker room that switched up on them. The New Day goes to enter the men's locker room backstage at Raw, but they're confronted at the door by Rey Mysterio. Rey doesn't allow them to come into the locker room and suggests for them to go get changed elsewhere because no one in the locker room wants them there. Kofi points out how messed up it is that after 10 years of the New Day sharing the locker room, no one in there has their backs. Xavier Woods says that's fine because they did not want to share a locker room with the rest of the superstars anyway. So the stakes and issues just continue to pile up for the New Day. They lost Big E, they lost the fans, and now they lost the entire locker room. Kofi and Xavier have now become complete outcasts backstage, and you have to assume that this treatment that the fans and now other superstars are giving them will only fuel them to be even more evil and cruel going forward. And things did not stop there for the New Day. They actually had another segment that appeared to anger them even more. Jackie Redmond goes to interview the New Day and get their entire reaction to getting kicked out of the locker room. But before the New Day can even say a single word, Jackie ends the interview abruptly to go check on the Kairi Sane attack that was happening right at the same time. So again, things are just getting piled up on the New Day's shoulders. They get kicked out of the locker room. No one wants to deal with them anymore. They finally look like they're going to get some airtime to voice their feelings with that interview, but even that was taken away from them as well. So it was not a good night for the New Day on the December 16th edition of Raw, and quite frankly, nothing positive has happened to them since kicking Big E out of the group several weeks ago. So all these little things continue to stack up. It looks like we can see the New Day eventually reaching another breaking point where they truly embrace this newly found evil side of themselves. And once that's done, once they accept their hatred they're getting from the fans and the locker room and just use that as fuel for their newly found selves, then that's when we could see another peak and breakthrough for the New Day. Building up the 10-year anniversary heel turn, a big theme of the New Day story was the constant spotlight on their failures. How they were losing tag team title matches to the lowest team on the roster, getting embarrassed in singles matches, and how it's been several years since they won a set of tag team titles. So once they embrace the dark side, we should definitely expect to see an opposite of what we've been seeing for the last few months. The New Day should start dominating the tag team division and eventually work their way up the roster until they're the #1 contenders for the World Tag Team titles again. And it'll be pretty fitting if they're able to secure and win that tag team title now that they're both on the same page. Like they said after kicking out Big E, it's literally just them against the world right now. So maybe that does help them form this tighter bond that's going to bring it all the way back to the gold. Raw just crowned a brand new pair of tag team champions with the War Raiders, but give the New Day some time to heat up and they can instantly become a major threat to the tag team titles. And that's where things could really get fun. The New Day feels like they made it back to the top of the mountain. They proved all the naysayers wrong, and they feel safe at the top as tag team champions. But maybe this could be the spot where Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks set their eyes on the New Day for multiple reasons. The Wyatts would be looking to make the New Day pay for betraying Big E, but maybe they'll be interested in taking those tag team titles from the New Day as well. So talk about taking care of two birds with one stone. That's what the Wyatts could end up doing after they come after the New Day, once they win those tag team titles. Another potential future story route for the New Day is something we lightly touched on before, and that's the idea for them to find a new third man. WWE is really laying it on thick that this entire men's and women's locker room absolutely despise the New Day for what they did to Big E. But maybe there's someone back there that understands what Kofi and Xavier did and why they did it. And in a time right now where Kofi and Xavier feel like no one's on their side, you never know if they take that individual in and welcome them into the group. So that story with the New Day is just heating up and should continue to be great. Lots of news and notes coming out for the Raw Netflix premiere, so let's go over everything there. Triple H announced that the Raw Netflix era will be a whole new launch for WWE, and promised that it will be like something the fans have never seen before. He said to expect the biggest stars and biggest storylines to take place. It was also announced that Logan Paul has been moved to the Raw roster as a part of the transfer window. Logan Paul made it clear that he still has big dreams, being a WWE World Champion one day, so we can expect to see him try to make a run at the world title on Raw. It was also announced that Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley will meet one-on-one for the women's world title at the Raw Netflix premiere on January 6th. So that'll be another big match on this loaded card. WWE also confirmed that out of the entire card, the match that will headline the show and main event the premiere will be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. This is a match that's kind of been hinted at since the very first night that CM Punk returned back in November 2023. Seth went viral for yelling and screaming at Punk while Punk was making his return that night. And here we are 14 months later, and their match is about to headline a very historic episode of Raw. It'll also be CM Punk's first Raw match since 2014, so that's a pretty good return to the Raw ring for CM Punk. Kevin Owens also made a trespassing appearance at the event with the Winged Eagle title in hand, and is now referring to himself as the new and true WWE Champion. Triple H said that the Winged Eagle title was a one-night return, but it looks like the classic title's return run is getting extended since it's being held captive by Kevin Owens at the moment. So that's great. It seems like we'll get to see the Winged Eagle title for a tad longer before it gets vaulted again. Who knows what they're building up to there? Maybe they have some sort of title unification match in the future between Kevin and Cody, where both the current WWE title and the Winged Eagle titles are up for grabs. It'll be an interesting move if they keep the Winged Eagle title around, so we'll see what comes out of that. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.